Hello everyone, I've been asked if I would show you how to make the origami roses that I made yesterday, and I thought while it was fresh in my mind I would crack on and do that. So you need a piece of paper. Now this is actual double-sided origami paper. You could use copy paper, nothing too thick. The thicker it is, the harder it is to fold, and also you might have it might rip and tear a bit, so something fairly thin is the best thing to use. It doesn't have to be two-sided, but I am doing mine two-sided so you can see when I'm working on the front and when I'm working on the back, and I will try to be clear in my instructions, and I will also write instructions in my description box which will help you once you've made the first one along with me. You'll be able to go back hopefully and remember just using some of the prompts, because reading the instructions themselves are not going to help you, but when you've done one it'll help jog your mind as to what stage comes next. Okay, so we'll make a rose and we'll make a leaf. Now the leaf is, I'm making mine with green, and the leaf size compared to the rose size, and it doesn't matter what size paper you do, obviously if it's tiny it's going to be harder to fold, but the leaf size is your piece of paper cut into thirds widthways and lengthways. So you'd get 9 of these squares inside one of these. So you've got 3 along the top, 3 along the bottom, if you see what I mean. So that would be, that's the size. Now this paper is supposed to be 6 by 6, but if you measure it, it's actually like 5 and 7/8, something like that. Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is it's square. So if you cut this down and you know you did 2 inches, 2 inches, oh, and then you find out the next ones you haven't got enough to make up 2 inches. Doesn't matter if it's 1 and 7/8, just turn it around, trim it so it's 1 and 7/8. Doesn't matter, so long as it is square. Okay, the same goes for this one. Right, so I will leave instructions like in my description box, which you will be able to follow hopefully once you've created this the first time. You won't probably be able to do them straight off from the instructions because it's difficult to understand, but there'll be a prompt for you so that you know that when you've done it once, you've got the general idea. If you just look at the instructions, that should be enough, hopefully, she says. Right, so let's start. We've got our paper. This is the right side, the red side is the right side, and with the right side up we're going to fold in half diagonally, one corner to the other. Okay, so we're going to do, and we're trying to be fairly careful with this and match it up as best we can. Excuse the state of my hands, I've been making Christmas cards, I've got glue all over me, and I've got bruises as well because I had a craft related injury again yesterday when I fell off my chair. Anyway, I'm okay, just a bit bruised. Right, so there's our paper. We've folded it in half, corner to corner, diagonally, one side and on the other. So we've got something that looks like that. Hopefully you can see we've basically cut it into 4 triangles. Right, and I'm going to turn it over so the right side is facing down, and we're going to fold it in half, lengthways and widthways. Okay, so across there. And I'm just trying to line it up so that I can be as neat as possible. I think that is the key to this, is trying to be accurate. Okay. So we fold it in half that way and this way. So both sides over to the other side. Okay, so now we've got 8 triangles. Hopefully you can see all that. Right, still with the right side facing down, we're going to turn it so that we've got the corners sort of pointing up and down. We're going to take the bottom corner and we're going to take it to the halfway point, the centre here, like that. Line up the line down here with this one so it's all nice and accurate. And then we're just going to mark the centre of this line by pushing our finger on it. We're not going to burnish it across there. We just want to know the centre point of the line. That's all. So we've got a little mark just here where the centre of this line is. And then we'll turn it to the next corner and do exactly the same. Take your bottom corner to the centre, like that. Line it up so that you can see the line going all the way through. Don't burnish it, just put your finger on it and mark the centre of that line. And then you should be able to see, I don't know if you can see my folds on there, might have to draw them in, but there's a little fold mark there. Turn it and we'll do the same with the next corner. Take the bottom corner up to the centre, line it all up, put your finger down just to mark the centre of the line, and the same with the last corner. So we're lining it up, finger on it just to mark the centre point. That's all we need to do. Okay, so you can see here that we've got the centre point of each diagonal line marked. Right, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take the bottom corner and I'm taking it up to the centre point of one of the things that we've marked. So the opposite side. And again, line it up. And this time we're going to burnish, but we're not going to go right from one side to the other. If you look closely, you can see you've got a line this side of the centre line and a line this side of the centre line. And we're only burnishing between those two lines where they join. So along there, that's all. Okay, and then we'll release it and we'll turn it around 90 degrees and we'll do the same again. Take your bottom corner up to one of the to the halfway point, the opposite halfway point up there. You can put your finger on it if you want to, and you're burnishing between those two lines that meet there. That's all. Either side of the centre line. It's about on this size paper, it's about 1 inch either side. Turn it 90 degrees, do the same again. Take your bottom corner up to the halfway line that we made, put your finger on it and burnish between the two lines either side of the centre. And we'll do that with the last corner as well. Take it up to the halfway point that you marked, put your finger on and burnish between the two lines. And when you open it, hopefully you can see that you've got a square in the middle, and so it looks like 2 squares either side, like that. I'm hoping you can see it. Right, so we've done quite a lot of that. Now we're going to turn it over. I've got the right side facing up. Okay, and we're going to take a side, I'll start with this one, and we're going to fold it towards the centre line. Okay, so it's quite hard for me to see, but you're just going to take it up to the centre line like that. Okay, make sure it lines up. And we are only burnishing from the centre line to the bottom. If I turn it around like that, from the centre line to the bottom, that's all. Okay, so we can burnish that line there. We don't need to go above that, just that line there. Okay, so undo it, turn it around 90 degrees, do the same again with this side. Bring the side in, use the centre line as a guide, make sure it's all lined up like that, and then you're burnishing from the centre down only. Okay, and turn it 90 degrees, do the same. Bring this side towards the centre like this, and you're burnishing from the centre down, that's all, down there. And we'll do the same with the last one. So we're taking this side to the centre, lining it up like that, and burnishing from the centre to the end of the page down here. Okay, so what you've got there is a burnish line here, 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 and hopefully here, like that. Now what we're going to do, we are going to, let me just double check from my notes I'm doing this right. So we're turning it over this time, so we've got the right side down, that's right, right side down. And then you can see your lines, you can pinch them a little bit, like that, because what we're trying to do is fold all this together around this square in the middle. So that's what you're aiming for, something that size. And if you pinch the bits that you've folded like that you've just scored and folded there, and you just have to you have to bear with me, because it does go together. Sometimes it goes together easier than you think, and other times not so much. But you just need to bear in mind that you're trying to get down to this square shape here, and you just need to kind of fiddle with it, she says. Can't see, there's my line there, like that. And this one here. So it does fold, but I'm just going to try and do it slowly so you can see what I'm doing. But you get the idea. And that goes in like that. Trying to do it slowly. And so you get something, you've got that as the square that we were aiming for, and then this around the outside. So I'm going to do it because I found this quite hard to do. Okay. So you've got the lines that we scored, the edge lines that we did, that we just went from the centre down to the bottom. There's 4 of them. There's this one here. There's this one here. There's this one here. And there's this one here. So what you're trying to do is to push them together and keep that square shape at the bottom, you see. So if you just do it, and they kind of automatically at some point just fold in on themselves. And when they do, you've got this square at the front and this square here. In fact, this is the front and the other one is the back. All right, so hopefully I've done it slowly enough that you can see. That's the trickiest bit, especially. It's all right once you've folded it once, it all goes back together, but the first time you do it, it's quite hard to do. So just pinch your score lines and push them together around that square shape at the bottom, and it will just fold into place. And then you can turn it over and you can burnish these if you wish. I thought I'd got a bone folder somewhere here. I might just give mine a bit of a, I haven't used one up to now. You can use one. I don't think you need to. Okay, we're nearly there now. So, with this side up, the right side up, what we're going to do is take one of these corners, okay, of the small square, if you like, and if you lift it up, you're working towards this corner here. This corner, we want a nice sharp point, okay? So, and we want to sort of fold from that point to this point here. So I'm just going to sort of curl it over a bit, and I'm going to use my finger to try and get a nice crisp point there. Okay, something like that. Okay, so it hasn't gone right to the corner, in fact. I think it's more important that you get your point down this end here. And then we'll just rotate it and do the same again. So we've got this corner here. You can move this out of the way for a minute. And you take this corner and this one here, you're trying to get a nice crisp point. So use your fingers, help it along if it doesn't want to go. And then when you've got it, pop your finger on it like that. and it goes almost to the end, not quite, but that's fine, that's what we want, like that. Okay, and turn it round, do the next one. So you take your small corner here from the small square, you're looking at the larger corner here, and you want to get a nice crisp point there, like that, and then just flatten it off, and then do the same with the last one. So you get your small corner, hold on to that, lift it up, and we're trying to get a nice corner here at the end. So something like that, and then down here. Now those 4 corners will all come together. You just need to work back on yourself, fold them back, and the last one, just make sure that you've folded inside underneath, tuck it underneath like that. And there we go. So what I'll do is I'm going to burnish those with my bone folder because they're sticking up a little bit, because you've got quite a few sheets of paper there in the fold, but that's all you do for that bit. Now, staying with this side up, we're going to take one of these corners. Now, there's different ways you can do this. I will show you the method that it has in the video, and then I'll show you my way, because I think it doesn't matter. What they do is they take this point, so it's just a corner, any of the corner points, doesn't matter, one of the points you've just folded, take that to the centre. Okay, so I think the idea is to get you this line here, this fold, because you then take that behind on that line, and then that becomes, you tuck it behind, and that's what you're aiming for. But I find every time I do that, you get this ridge here because you folded it one way and then you're folding it back on yourself. I don't think it makes any difference if you fold it forward and then back. If you just take your corner like this, and that's what it looks like behind, just take your corner, ease it backwards, sort of roll it, curl it backwards until you get it where you want it, and then just burnish that. And I think that looks neater personally. You haven't got that sort of lumpy bit where you had one fold one way and then folded it again, because you've got 2 pieces of paper and I think they slip over each other. So I think that looks neater personally. So I'm going to continue that way. Take your next corner, roll it back, tuck it behind, burnish it. And then we'll do the last corner, roll it back, tuck it behind, and burnish it. Okay, so when you've done all 4 corners, that's what you've got. And then what we need to do is turn it over so the right side is facing down. And then we take a corner and we're just folding it a little bit, and this is just to sort of shape it, so something like that. Just turn the corner, and you know, you can do this as much as you like, as big or as little as you like, but this is shaping the rose so that the rose hasn't got 4 pointy corners. So just take the corner and literally just folding it over at an angle like that, because when you turn it back, that's what gives you a more rose like shape. Okay, so there's your rose. Next job is the leaf. So we'll have a dark side facing up for our leaf. And what you're going to do is put a pleat in here from one corner. Don't worry too much about the other end. So think of one corner is going to be your nice corner, the end of your leaf. The other corner is going to be stuck underneath and you're not going to see it anyway. So we're taking this corner as our nice corner and we're putting a pleat in it. So I'm just going to sort of fold it over and fold it back, she says. I'm not doing a very good job of it. So sort of folding it. I want a pleat, but I want it to look neat at one end, and it doesn't matter about this other end. It's going to look, deliberately going to look a bit weird over that side. So let's try a pleat like something like that, she says. Okay, actually the other end looks better now, but it doesn't really matter. But just putting a pleat in it. And mine's kind of gone centrally. I didn't actually want it to go centrally. I wanted it at an angle. Let's see if I can do a better job, she says. Alright, so I'm going from that corner there, but I don't want to go right across to the other corner. So I've folded it in that sort of shape, and then I'm going to fold it back on itself. Something like that. Well, we can use either of these anyway, but then that's the sort of shape that you want. It's got a pleat, it's gone from the corner, the tip, across the centre, turn it over, and then again this is just shaping as well. Pick up a corner and fold it upwards, and the other corner, and then you've got a leaf. And you can have it either way around. You could have it that way round if you liked it that way, or you could have it that way with the other tip colour showing, whatever you like. I'll do that again. I'll do it with this one that I've made a pig's ear off. Might just be easier to say fold it over from the corner. Let's start with that one. Look, use a corner, fold it. You want to make a fold across the middle, but you don't want it to be in half. You want it to be, you want to keep a point, but you don't. Have I done that? Yeah, like that. So it's not in half. And then I'm going to fold that back on itself. If you can get it right from that corner there, that's better, like that. So we've folded it in half. Well, not in half, that's not true. We've folded it over, and then folded it from the large side back on itself. You can see the kind of shape that I've got underneath there, a sort of a triangle. Fold it back on itself, because if you think that's what the end of the leaf that you want it to look like, and then you can just turn it over, fold up both the corners just to give it more of a leaf shape, and that can tuck under there like that. Well, I hope that was helpful, and as I said, I'll write the instructions out in the description box so that you can go back and have a look at them once you've made one alongside me. You don't have to keep playing the video once you've got those. Okay, I hope that was easy to follow, and if not, let me know and I'll see what I can do to help you out. All right, folks, so happy crafting, stay safe, and I will be back again soon. Bye for now.